Are you wondering who you are now that you've retired and the future seems to hold a lot of question marks? Well, today we're talking about that surprising, quiet question that sneaks in after the retirement cake has been cut, the gold watch tucked away, and the alarm clock gently escorted into the donation bin. Who am I now? And even juicier, what do I want now? Not that the boss wants, not what the kids need, not what the house demands, but you, your heart, your spirit, your curiosity, that whisper of a voice that maybe got put on silent mode around the time responsibility marched in with a clipboard and a schedule. This time in life is not a slowdown. It's a soul shift. So let's talk about how to meet the you that's been waiting to exhale. I'm Liz, and welcome to Joyful Retired Mindset, where we believe aging gracefully is overrated. I prefer to age with curiosity, plenty of laughter, and the occasional sprinkle of mischief. Because if there was ever a time for mischief, it's now. We're finally unsupervised. When life suddenly goes quiet. For decades, many of us were someone's mom, partner, employee, therapist for family members who need a hobby, laundry superhero, grocery strategist, holiday coordinator, emotional first responder, and finder of lost ketchup, always in the door of the fridge. Why does no one else see it? We were needed. We were busy. We were necessary and useful and called upon constantly. And one day, a bit like a lamp that clicks off, the noise stops. The calendar clears. The phone rings less. The morning rush disappears like socks in a dryer. I know you've all experienced that. And suddenly we realize, I don't have to be who I was anymore, which is about both thrilling and a teensy bit terrifying. We don't talk about this often, but retirement can bring a strange little identity echo, a soft emptiness where a big role used to be. Not a crisis, not a failure, just a beautiful identity gap. And gaps, they're where the light comes in. They're where the creativity rushes through the door like fresh spring air. They're not endings, they're doorways. I remember when my supposed to life wrapped up, I sat in my chair, tea steaming, knuckles cracking, and thought, all right, universe. I raised the people. I fed the animals. I fed the husbands, one in the past and one who has passed. I paid the bills, learned patience, balanced checkbooks, baked casseroles, and tried to be enlightened. Now what? Am I supposed to just clip coupons and knit socks for the saints? Confession here. I don't even like knitting anymore. It attacks me. Yarn and I are not friends. I pictured myself just shrinking into a quiet little corner of polite retirement. And my soul, bless her rebellious heart, stood up with her hands on her hips and said, oh, no, you don't. We did not come all this way to become background furniture. I asked a question I hadn't asked in years, decades, really. Who do I want to be now? And I swear, somewhere inside, a tiny inner cheer squad leapt up and yelled, retirement isn't the end, it's the encore. Well, that was a pretty good message. Here's the truth, my friends. When our roles fall away, the real self finally gets space to come forward. We stop being defined by our, job title, our to-do list, our usefulness, and what others need from us. And we begin being defined by curiosity, creativity, courage, and the deep, delicious wanting of our own spirit. Retirement isn't about stepping down, it's about stepping into your essence, stepping into your freedom, stepping into your becoming. We get to ask questions now like, what brings me joy? What makes me curious? What silly dream did I put aside because life got serious? Where does my soul feel light? And here's a little secret. You don't have to act your age. At 82, I certainly don't. What does act your age even mean? Walk slower, speak softer, stop dreaming? Absolutely not. We are not fading out like a polite library whisper. We are blooming brightly, boldly, loudly, if needed. Some of us bloom late, and late bloomers have the richest petals. Now here's some identity homework. Playfully grab a notebook or a napkin or a cereal box, anything with space to write. Answer this question. What sounds fun, delicious, interesting, or mischievous now? Not useful, not practical, not age appropriate, what that ever means. Fun. Here's some ideas to get you started. Learn watercolor. Badly at first, gloriously later. Join a ukulele group. They're the most joyful people on earth, I think. Host tea and cookies with fellow dreamers. Set some goals. Look ahead. Join a storytelling group. Try improv. Yes, seniors doing improv. It's hysterical. Visit a museum alone and take your sweet time. Write your life story or your funniest disaster stories. Start a travel bucket list, big trips or mini adventures. And yes, start a YouTube channel if you want. Hey, if I can, at 82, you can too. We're not here to shrink. We're here to blossom. And here's a little magical prompt. Write this. Who was I before life got so responsible? What did I love? Dancing, singing, writing, building forts out of couch cushions, chasing butterflies, telling stories around the table? Go back and get that joy. Feel that joy. That little kid in you isn't gone. She's been waiting patiently, arms crossed, tapping her foot like, took you long enough. Now let's go play. The real secret, you don't find yourself by thinking. You don't find yourself by worrying about being useful. You find yourself by doing, by trying, by experimenting, by daring to be delightfully human again. You discover who you are now by gently letting go of who you used to need to be. This stage of life isn't a sunset. It's a second surprise, and we get to enjoy it without homework, curfews, or pretending to like office meetings, though they were the dreaded. A word on courage. Some days, you'll feel brave. Other days, you'll feel unsure. Both are perfect. Both are welcome. Both are normal. Courage, it isn't the absence of fear. It's moving anyway. If you wobble, wobble forward. If you doubt, do the tiny thing anyway. A 5-minute joy is still a joy. A small dream, it's still a dream. And a quiet beginning can lead to a glorious adventure. So, in closing, Here's my invitation to bloom. So, my future adventurer, your identity is not waiting in a rocking chair. It's waiting in curiosity, in courage, in play, in quiet moments and little bursts of why not energy. You're not finished. You are unfolding. You are not done. You are beginning again. This is your encore, not your exit. Make it joyful. Make it meaningful. Make it mischievous if you dare. And if you're rediscovering yourself too, leave a comment and say, I'm blooming again. Let's bloom together. Let's laugh together. Let's reinvent together. And if an 82-year-old like me can build a YouTube channel from scratch, you can absolutely take one tiny brave step toward what you delight in. Subscribe if you'd like more laughter, wisdom, and heartfelt rebellion in your retirement chapter. We could have a great time together. Now go, be a masterpiece in progress, and remember, the universe isn't finished with you. It's just getting started. Meanwhile, take care, keep smiling. Until the next time, bye for now.